welcome back to a live video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, mostly to some health issues. And we are going to the table to explore the Imperial Russian Navy, the Swedish Royal Navy, and also the Ottoman Navy. So the game design is by Mike Nagel. This is from 2014, and don't really care because the third printing of Flying Colors, which is the volume 3 there. You had Ships of the Line, Serpents of the Seas, and then Blue Cross White Ensign. But the third printing will bring Flying Colors base and Ships of the Line included, so we'll be fine. So I didn't do any unboxing. I mean, surely, taking out maps, taking out counters, everything was fine. I organized everything, and as you can see, the counters and everything is standard. The map scale is 100 meters per X. I mean, solitaire is high, complexity is medium. Actually has nothing that I didn't see in any of the miniature games. The only thing that is the very reduced scale. So what we're gonna do for a starter, and I was going through the playbook and trying to find a good scenario to be the one to play at start, and I went through with the Battle of Mount Athos, and this is part of the Russo-Turkish War, and it happened in 18 June 1807. Sorry for the glare, and we are just seeing the fleets, which eventually I am going to set up. But just to give you a brief overview, it's 18 June 1807. The period of the Napoleonic Wars was an interesting time for Russia and Turkey. When the wars began, French actions brought the two nations together as allies, with their fleets cooperating in several operations. This alliance was not to last, however. All right. On 18 June, Seniavin, and we have Seniavin here, except is not written with a Y, struck the Turkish fleet in a manner similar to Nelson at Trafalgar. Seniavin formed his fleet in two columns, and we'll see. This is the arrangement of the battle. Now, there's one important thing. We don't have the operational. This is purely fleet engagements tactical level. There's no operational level to find the enemy, fix the enemy, and then have the battle. No, that phase is already gone. We have the enemy where we want it, and we are going to attack. So it's the Battle of Mount Athos, and the wind is blowing from the north to the south. And I am using actually a wind counter, not a counter but a wind to show the wind element, and it's from oak and iron. I like it. And so I am going to let me check. The Turks have a lot more ships. They have a lot more. The majority are third rates. We have a second and a first rate there, and we have a fourth rate, several fourths. And actually the Turks bring also the Iskandaria, which is a fifth rate frigate with 44 guns. The Russians have way less ships, and the majority being third rates and nothing above third rate. They have some fourth rates there. And I think the biggest historical, or the more guns that the Russians brought were the Rafael and the Uriel, each with 80 guns, third of the line. And yeah, the Ottomans have way more. They have ships with 84s. So overall, they have one with 90. So overall, the Ottomans have way more broadside weight. But as we will see once we make the deployment, there's a tactical advantage for the Imperial Russian fleet. So catch you in a bit. Okay, our deployment is done. You can see the Ottoman fleet arranged in a very long line, going towards, and I'm going to assume the wind is blowing south, and so they are going on this northwest course, and with the Russians bearing on them coming from the northeast, and aiming to pull a Nelson, and I would say try to break the Turkish line somewhere here. So the Ottoman flagship is the Mesudi actually, which is commanded by Saidi Ali, and we have the second in command, Sheremet, on the Ankai Badi. Actually, the fleet commander is on a first rate, Mesudini, 120 guns. So that's a lot of guns, while the Russians, the Imperial Russians, are actually in a more, way less guns. They have the flagship, it's a third rate, is the Tverdi with Senyavin aboard it, and we have the second in command, Grieg, on the Retvisa. So the entire idea, I'll try to follow the historical, and during the battle historically, the wind actually switched after 3-4 hours. Actually, the wind switched in favor of the Turks from their position, but their line was so split up that they couldn't they couldn't reorganize and fight the Russians anymore. So from the, you can see from the Ottoman fleet how and the wind is blowing towards us, so we are reaching we are beating, and the Russians are already reaching, but they are a point from us. So let's see what we do. So this is the setup for the battle from 1807, and if you want to investigate more, Battle of Mount Athos. Admiral Collingwood referred to the engagement as Mount Athos as a sort of a battle. So I don't know if it's in regard of what could have been done, or if it is in disregard of, yeah, they didn't do as good as the Royal Navy does. So, well done of sorts. So catch you next time for the initial opening phase, turn 1. So cheers. All right, and we have our deployment done for the battle, and here we have the Russian fleet. I think I showed this the last time. What I did not to overburden with the ships with counters. I'm sure each ship will need, for example, let us put a counter, for example, for rigging damage, and then you need another for hull damage, and if, let's suppose, you want to go full sails, you know, or if you are anchored, if you fire broadsides, and I think I'll use cotton model for that. So if you want to, so you see that just for one ship the number of counters start to become really thick. So what I decided to do to help with this cluttering is as simple as this. I made a sheet with the name of the ship, and I come here, I put sail damage, I put hull damage, and all the other counters that apply to the ship. In this case would be the Bedr is Zafar, and for example we have the Macedony as a flagship, which is that one. Alright, so we have our setup complete here. What will we do? We will try to emulate the Russian victory. Okay, that's the idea, but game being game, we don't know whether the wind will change to one side or the other. Right, there's also two fundamental changes for Blue Cross White Ensign from the flying color rules. So there's no big ships shoot only big ships unless they are fired by the frigates or the smaller ships. Here, that rule does not apply. Any ship can shoot against any ship. Second is about the ship we run is about the Russian Navy unicorns. And excuse my Russian, the Edinorog, and the ships that have marked there. It's a E3. Oops, sorry. All right. There's an E. Means they have Edinorogs. It's usually a pair of guns amidships. They are very powerful and they are unreliable. So they have those two counters, and it's, yeah, in this case the captain or the player decision if he fires the guns or not. So I think we have our deployment done. Our table is set, and we are good to go. So catch you guys after turn 1.